But let's begin with some surprising news out of Northern California. It happened earlier the afternoon on Thursday. Jeff Passan, the first to break it. Luis Severino and the A's, 3 years, $67 million, largest guarantee in the history of the Athletics franchise. And even with the qualifying offer attached, Severino got well over market expectation. There's also this. Severino's deal with the A's includes an opt-out after the second season, so that's after 2026, per the sources. A's went into this winter seeking pitching, and they got one of the best in the market in Severino, whose career earnings now top $130 million. $130 million. And then this tweet from our John Heyman, which I think is interesting, Yonder. Before agreeing to the Severino deal, the Athletics made a big offer to former A Sean Manaea in hopes of bringing him back to his first major league team. I was genuinely shocked and surprised and pleased that the Athletics made a push like this. This is a significant transaction for them.
And I think the reason they made that push is because of what happened last year, right? Towards the end of the year, they had one of the best records in all of baseball. And they got these young studs, these prospects that really have come to light, right? And they've played well. Even in late games, they know they have a stopper right in that ninth inning. And Mark Kotsay has been tremendous for that organization. He's kind of had to deal with a lot, right? Seeing all these prospects and seeing the team. But look, the A's right now, some could say they can compete and they can contend for the West, right?
Absolutely. When you consider what the rest of the division, the landscape of the division, we don't know what the Astros are going to look like. The Texas Rangers, they struggled through a lot of injuries.
That's right.
But to your point, this A's team last year hit a lot of home runs. Now they go to a ballpark in Sacramento where it is very hitter-friendly, as the Pacific Coast League tends to be. So you're right. Why not the A's in 2025?
My thing, too, is, are you going to be done with just Severino, right? Because it always feels like these teams, when you go get a high piece like this in Luis Severino and you look at the rotation options for 2025, you would think, like, okay, we're not going to be done. We're going to continue to go add some more pieces because, look, one thing we know about the A's is this. They can run the bases and they can hit home runs. But I want to take a look about who Severino was. And when he came into the show, this was a no-doubter ace type of guy. And he would want to embarrass you. That's all he wanted to do was 98, 99, filthy sliders. That's who Luis Severino was. You wanted to swing early in the count or get him later in the count. Why? Because this is what he struggled with. He was just a thrower. He wasn't so much of a pitcher. This year was completely different. But you will see here in these counts, 2-1 count, 3-1 count, letting his stuff go to work necessarily didn't mean that for Luis Severino. He wanted to embarrass you. He wanted to get back in the count by making you look bad. And more than not, he would go 3 1/3 with 130 pitches. This is a problem in 2024. He changed that. He wanted to get ahead, but not only just get ahead, he wanted to get a swing, get an out. 0-0 counts, that's what he relied on a lot. He wasn't a thrower anymore. He now became a pitcher. He was a smart pitcher, using his two-seamer, using that sweeper, using his changeup. That's how electric he's always been. And yes, we know Luis Severino still got 98. He's still got 100. But why? It's because he's got stuff left in the tank. 95 pitches through 7 right there. He can go get you out. Now, I think this was his best start, August 17th. Look how many 0-0 count swings he had. That's the reason he was able to feel really good about himself that day. Why? Because there was a lot of easy outs. 1-0, getting an out in the second inning. Third inning, 0-0 count. Thank you. I'll have that first pitch swinging. I'll get another out. This is the reason why Luis Severino was able to go deep into this game in the 8th inning with just 77 pitches. Why? Because in the first 3 or 4 innings, he was putting people away. And then when you get to the 9th, you smell that complete game, and now you're letting it eat. I think this is what we're going to see in the future with Luis Severino. Why? Because he all of a sudden now, not only is he a thrower, but he's become a pitcher. And when you've got a guy like this being a pitcher and not have to deal with so many injuries, it's because he's getting smarter and consistent with who he is right now in Luis Severino.
To your point, lowest pitches per plate appearance of Luis Severino's career was last year. And following up on what you said earlier, Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, Shea Langoliers, J.J. Bleday found some consistency there with the Athletics. So, yeah, maybe they're building something special there sooner than we may have expected.
A lot of homers, good defense, a lot of speed, and now with Luis Severino, I don't think they're done. That's just my guess. I don't think they're done.